Oh wow, this is new. What's going on, family? What is going on? This is your brother King Cam. Normally, y'all know I have a intro set up for my podcast, but the files. Oh, it's saying the files is not on the it's not on here. Okay, okay. I know where the files at though. But anyway, so what we're gonna do, family, is we're going to man, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to the YouTube family. Shout out to the Facebook family who's gonna be watching and tapping in tonight for this excellent conversation. This is really, really dope. And man, I can't wait to really get into the bulk of what we're gonna be discussing tonight, which is extremely, extremely important. I thought this sister who is gonna be joining us tonight has an amazing story, and I wanted to bring her on the platform to be able to talk about it. So as you come into the broadcast, family, I need you to like, share, subscribe. Right, hit that bell to stay notified each and every time that we are dropping a video, as well as I need you all to share this out. I need you all to share this out, as well as when you hit the comment section, let me know what city and state that you're tuning in from. Let me know what city and state you are tuning in from. Peace. Peace. Let me know what city and state you're tuning in from, family, so we can see who's checking in. So let me see if I can get this intro rolling now, because I found the files, and then we'll get right into our show for tonight. Okay. Nope. It still ain't working. Let me see something. I cleaned this whole laptop off earlier, and it's giving me a issue right now. Let's try this.
Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
Not your average nigga, I'm a god out the hood. They can't downplay me. I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. Then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. I don't look at you people the same. Nah. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Yeah. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still want us think our history started when we were slaves? What? Come on now, talk about them pyramids we made. I was chosen by that man, you know y'all just been running game. The nerve of you acting like I ain't.
Hey, I get so hype every time I hear that song. Shout out to my brother Golden Child and the Unified Movement, man. Make sure y'all go follow my good brother on social media, man, on all social media platforms, Golden Child. That's a dope record, man, waking up the consciousness. See, you know, the intro not playing and not working at first kind of threw me off, but it's all good. We understand that it might be a time when you got to pivot, family. So you got to be able to make sure that you're able to do so. So let me check the comment section. Peace to Mitch. Oh, we got Tallahassee in the building. We got Fort Lauderdale, Florida in the building, tapping in. Okay. My sis that I'm about to bring up, Sister Crystal, is from Florida. So shout out to the Florida family that is in the building. So without any further ado, I want to go ahead and get my sister up here because I am new to the LinkedIn community. Right. And being new to the LinkedIn community and a new creator on LinkedIn through the tech field, I was putting out content and I'm always trying to find who are some of the dope creators on the app. And I came across my sister page and I saw some of the content she was putting out. I'm reading her posts, and then I see in one of her posts where she talks about going from being a nurse into the tech industry. Now, from my understanding, in our community, nursing is a really big field for a lot of Black women. Nursing is a really big field for a lot of Black women. It's a very lucrative field. So when I saw that my sister had transitioned from nursing into tech, I said, wow. So I immediately reached out and I'm like, yo, I got to really talk to you more to understand this story. So I want to bring her up here. Again, she is a nurse who has transitioned into sales. She's a sales engineer as well as a solution engineer. She has a group that she hosts for other sales engineers, and she's bringing mad value to the LinkedIn platform. And I'm speaking of none other than my sister Crystal Harvey. I'm going to bring her up. How you doing, sis?
Good. How are you?
How are you?
My college days when you did that.
Oh yeah, took it back. Look, we're gonna give you a virtual round of applause. Oh, we got Brother Edward in the building. Brother Edward Senior in the building. How you doing, brother? Yeah, he said that's his daughter. Shout out to you, brother. Hold on, let me make sure. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, good brother. I appreciate you for tuning in to the podcast and to the platform. We certainly appreciate it. Yes, sir. So, man, that's a good look. Pops on the podcast. So, yes, Crystal. So, like I was telling everybody, I'm new to the LinkedIn platform. So, being new to the LinkedIn platform, I'm trying to tap in with as many dope creators as possible. And I came across your page, and I was certainly intrigued about how you transition from nursing into the tech field. You don't really see a lot of people who transition out of nursing or out of the medical field, especially nursing, though, like nurse practitioners or anything like that, and transition to a whole nother career field. So that was extremely interesting to me, and I reached out and I was like, yo, we got to talk about this more because I really want to get the backstory on this. So if you could just tell our audience just a little bit about yourself, you becoming a nurse, and then, what inspired the transition into the tech industry.
All right. So, yes, I am from Florida, specifically Tallahassee. I was born and raised.
Yo.
So, I've always wanted to work in the healthcare field. I wanted to go to school to be a doctor. So, that's what I initially went to school for. And I got my undergrad degree at Florida A&M University. Shout out to the Rattlers.
Okay.
Number one HBCU in the country.
Come on. Hey, shout out to the HBCUs. Number one HBCU in the country, man. Big ups to them.
So I went to FAMU, got my degree, but decided I wasn't going to go to medical school anymore. I just got married, had kids. I was like, I'm not feeling it.
Okay.
And I jobs, and I was like, okay, I still have this passion for healthcare, so I'm going to be a nurse. So I went to school to be a nurse in 2020, like January 2020 to be exact. So I was becoming a nurse in school to become a nurse in the middle of a pandemic, and that was an adventure, to say the least. So as I started working in the nursing field, I realized you can get really burnt out. And I know you mentioned that your mom and sister is a nurse, so I'm sure they can relate. You are not careful, you can get very burnt out because you're giving of yourself. And also, just the working conditions aren't the best for healthcare workers at the moment. So I saw Cyrus post. I followed Cyrus on Instagram.
Okay,
and mentioned that he did this boot camp, and how it was great. He learned a lot, and he actually landed a job. I'm not sure if he mentioned he got 6 figures, but he was pushing the fact that you can get 6 figures just entry level, just by getting into the tech field. So my ears definitely perked up,
Right.
Bag. And I just compared, if I wanted to make that type of money in nursing, I would actually have to go back to school because I'm a licensed practical nurse. So I would have to go to be a registered nurse. Just to get that type of income. Now, I will say there are some LPNs making that type of money now, but you might have to travel, and I can't do that at the
right.
So, excuse me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to enroll into the boot camp, and did it. I loved it. I enrolled in careerist boot camp for a sales engineer, and the rest was history. So that's why I'm on LinkedIn.
Wow, that's crazy. So shout out to careerists, man. Big ups to them for the boot camp and everything like that. And my story is similar to that. My sister had actually forwarded me some information from Cyrus' page, or actually his Instagram page. So that's how I found out about Cyrus, and started watching his content on Instagram, and then that's how I got introduced to tech. So shout out to Cyrus for introducing people into tech. So yeah, so starting out wanting to be a doctor, life kicked in, decided it was going to you was going to be a nurse, a LPN, and then you was like, okay, that's cool. Now, was you working? Were you working in a clinic? Were you working in the hospital? Where were you working at as an LPN?
I did a little bit of everything. Like
Okay.
I doctor's office,
Hmm.
specific family med and rheumatology. Then I started doing long term care. Then I did COVID testing for a while,
Oh
and
wow.
and then
Okay.
nurse. Well, basically, I work for myself. I'm a contractor. I go to different facilities when they are lacking as far as staff is concerned. And when I tell you that is not the healthiest environment sometimes, so
Mm.
you know, burnt out. The workload is heavy. So it's like,
Yes.
yeah, else.
No, I could imagine because my mother is a respiratory therapist and a registered nurse. So I have seen her work in hospitals. She's worked in plenty of different hospitals and different things like that. So I definitely know that. My sister is a registered nurse and she's actually going back to school for to become a nurse practitioner. So she's in the process of doing that, but she likes it. She made a lot of money during the pandemic because she traveled. She was going to different states and things like that. So she was getting that traveling bag. Well, she was out. So yeah, so she did that. Hmm. And but yeah, like you said, you definitely can get burnt out. I can see how that can happen. So now transitioning into tech, I actually wanted to do the exact same thing. I was just too broke to afford careers and sales engineering, right? But I checked it out. I checked out careers. I talked to the people and everything on the phone, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do this. And then I'm looking at this price though. I'm like, I don't know if I can swing that. And then at the time, I was trying to do it. I don't know if they had a payment plan. I think they got a payment plan now, but they didn't have the payment plan back then. So I was like, I'm not gonna be able to swing that. So I ended up going course careers route. That was more in my budget because the way my bank account was set up at the time, I had course career bank account, not a careerist bank account. But either way, so I ended up going through the tech sales course and becoming an SDR. So as you go through careerist, can you talk about the curriculum, your experience in careerist going through the boot camp? Because you know when people talk about tech, they always say certifications, getting certs, getting certified, and then they start applying for jobs. So talk about the importance of the boot camp. How is that able to help you actually land a job in tech?
Yeah, so we had, I think, about four instructors, and they're all solutions or sales engineers. So I love that, because sometimes they'll just have any old person off the street teaching you
Right, right, right.
who were in the field or who are in the field teaching us. And we had nightly classes where they would teach us the fundamentals first, like what is a sales engineer, what's like the base, like, learning your client's pain points, catering that software or product to fit their pain points.
Right.
Um, you know, working with them throughout that process, even after they have purchased the software. And we learned about different, like SaaS. I know people
Yes.
SaaS.
SaaS products, yes. Software as a service.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything tech related, we learned tech, terminology, because some of us were coming from, again, different fields. So
Right.
they basically they gave us a good foundation. So I will say, careers was a good program as far as that is concerned. The instructors were awesome. Shout out to Uncle Charles. He may not even see this. We call him
Shout out
Uncle.
to Unc. Shout out to Unc. Was he like in your cohort? Was he part of your cohort or an instructor?
He was the instructor.
Okay, Uncle Charles was the instructor, man. Shout out to Unc, man, dropping them gems in the class.
Yeah, so it was good. I learned a lot, and I feel confident that when I go to an interview or I'm on Zoom for an interview, I can confidently say what my role is as a sales engineer. So
Okay.
don't feel like you missed out though. I think doing what you did is also good. Going through course careers, so because I learned sales engineering is not really entry level. You kind of work your way up to it. So
Yes, actually, yes. Engineering is definitely more like mid level. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I got another friend of mine who went to careers and is in the process of going through the application process and looking for companies now as a sales engineer. And some of the stuff that he told me he's encountered on some of these interviews is like they give it. I mean, the interview is like not to play with. Like it's not a joke as to interview for a sales engineer position. So could you just talk about your experience going through the interview process?
okay, so I've only had a couple of interviews. I'm still pushing though, but I didn't make it to the demo part. It was, I
Okay.
thought that,
Oh
they
man.
they always look at that experience like, okay, you're just starting out. If
Right.
they are a startup company, they kind of want someone who's more experienced in their book.
Hmm.
But we did have a mock interview and a mock demo at the end of our careers program. So I do like
Okay.
that because I experienced and they had me shaking in my book. Because you're
Nah,
doing,
those mock interviews is they really help out a whole lot.
yeah, they do. But you're doing it in front of the whole class, in front of the instructors, and they giving you live feedback. But I did pretty good. So, I worked on it.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So yeah, he has experienced some different things because he's actually given some demos and things like that. But the biggest thing I try to tell people when it comes to the interview process or even when you are looking for companies is to stay consistent. You know, we have been trained as a society on instant gratification. So because we've been trained on instant gratification, and then you have people who are creators who have large platforms on social media and talk about a lot of the pros and the a lot of the benefits for working in tech or in anything. People think that it happened overnight. Like if people see, if you haven't are not familiar with Cyrus' story, then you can believe that it was something that happened overnight, right? So it's important to understand that it was all a process. Cyrus talks about how many applications he put in before he was able to get an offer and things of that nature. I put in a lot of applications. I can't tell you how many, but I put in a lot of applications before I got an offer. So the point is to always continue to be consistent, and you're gonna have that breakthrough. You're gonna have that breakthrough. So, as far as that's concerned, for everybody, SDR, sales engineers, anybody who was out there still in the process, just continue to just knock away at it every day, and something is definitely gonna break through for you. So, could you talk about your group? I know you have a group, and it's called the Modern Problem Solver Sales Engineer Group. So, talk a little bit about that group and that community and how y'all are solving problems.
Yeah, so I wanted to create a space for sales engineers because LinkedIn is huge. Like sometimes
Yes.
you get overwhelmed by the amount of information that's just, popping up every day. So I just wanted to create a smaller space for us to, talk and connect, help each other get jobs. And initially I wasn't gonna make it because I'm like, I'm a sales engineer, but I'm not actually working for a company.
Right. Okay.
So I was like, well, I don't know if anybody's gonna want to join because
Hmm.
I don't have quote unquote experience. But my whole thing is I want to bring people along I want to help people as I help
Hmm.
myself.
Hmm.
But I should. So I was like, okay, let's create a space where we all can help one another, connect, socialize, whatever it may be. So I got a small team now, and we got a lot cooking. Just stay tuned. We got a
Oh,
lot.
that's sweet.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm excited. I'm glad I went through with it. And also I can add that as experience for a sales engineer because I'm sure I'm gonna help solve a lot of pain points for other SEs. So
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what inspired you to want to even create the group? Because a lot of times, especially if you haven't landed with a company, people are trying to, they heavily focus on that. So, it's like, how were you inspired or motivated to want to create a community even while you're going through the process of trying to find a company?
I'm big on having people around you that can support you as you're going through the process. I don't believe in doing things alone.
Right. Right.
my cohort that I did the careers program with, we actually have a small message thread. So every now
Oh
and again,
wow, okay.
yeah. So I wanted to create something a little bit bigger for all the pre-sales and sales engineers around the world, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So support one another, and especially right now during layoffs, it's always good to have community, and I think that's like the premise and the base of LinkedIn, so you can link with other individuals. So that's what inspired me, and it really was out the blue. I was like, okay, I want to create a group, and I just sat there, got my graphics together and made it.
Right. No, that's definitely good. And you mentioned something that's key, like community, right? Like you said, human beings are not meant to be alone. They're not meant to, navigate this thing called life by themselves. So in the process of that, community is huge because it's like it forms, extended family. It forms relationships and bonds. You're able to exchange information. You're able to have access to opportunities that you may not have had if you had not been networking or linking in with other individuals. So one of the things that I pride myself on and I learned through the years of entrepreneurship is how important networking is. And LinkedIn is an excellent space to be able to do that. So as you create content and put different things out, I tell a lot of the people that I talk to privately, that I consult with when it comes to breaking into tech, is you have to be making sure that you networking. You want to make sure that you are utilizing LinkedIn, all of the different tools and all of the resources that you have available to you. You need to be reaching out to people that are successful in your space. If they're putting out content on the app, you want to be engaging in that content, asking questions, adding value. But most importantly, you should be networking and developing those relationships, because as you go through the process of, trying to find a company, or if you're working for a company but you just networking, opportunities will present themselves. And Cyrus talk about this a lot. Opportunities presenting themselves that reward and pay off because of the network and the relationship that you built with that particular person. So it's very important that you network on LinkedIn, and you should tap into groups like the one that Sister Crystal has as well. So what are some things that people can expect from being inside of the group? Is it like, do you all do like monthly Zooms? Do y'all give like tips throughout the group? Do you have guest speakers come? Like, what can people expect from being a part of your community?
Yeah, so I have a lot of ideas. So I do want to offer some type of service, for lack of a better word, where you can basically spruce up. That's what I like to say, spruce up your LinkedIn page.
Okay.
So I want to like help other SCs make sure like they have a nice banner, a nice profile picture. Their about me is on point. Their experience, because a lot of recruiters, that's what they're going to look at. I've heard people say they'll look at the LinkedIn before they look at your resume, just to see if see who you are. Also, I want to help other SCs with resumes. Make sure your resume is really good, because if your resume can't get through that ATS system, you don't even get an interview.
Mm.
So want to do that. I'm actually going to be going live with recruiter cousin Shanae next Wednesday, I believe, and we're
I
going to be
was
talking about networking.
Yeah, I was on, what was I listening to where her name came up? I was listening to something
Mm-hmm.
and her name came up, recruiter cousin. Yeah, I can't remember what I was listening to. I don't know if it was, it might have, matter of fact, it might have been Cyrus latest podcast he was doing. And I think her name came up. So yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So y'all gonna be going live on it on LinkedIn?
Yes, LinkedIn, and I created an event. So just look for the Modern Problem Solver presents how to network with recruiters.
Oh yeah,
So
see.
we have a lot in store. If you want to join the group, just go under groups, type in the Modern Problem Solver, and it should pop up. If not, go to my page, Crystal Harvey, and look for that post, and I put the link there as well. So we have a lot in store. Stay
Okay,
tuned.
cool. Absolutely. Oh, okay, yeah. Mitch says she was on Cyrus podcast. Okay, cool. So yeah, see, so she was on Cyrus podcast and he mentioned her on the other podcast. So that's pretty dope. So yeah, family, if you just coming and tuning into the show, I'm your brother King Cam, and I'm here with my sister Crystal Harvey, who is a sales engineer. She actually transitioned from nursing, the medical field, over into tech, family. So if man, you interested in joining tech and becoming a part of the tech community and tech industry, then definitely you want to do that. It's really no field that you can't transition from. As I came through course careers and I watched a lot of the testimonials from course career side, there's a lot of people from a bunch of different backgrounds, whether it was retail, whether it was like medical coding, whether it was, all of these different backgrounds, ex-military and things like that, coming together, in the same, space of tech. So it's a lot of different people from different backgrounds that come into tech, right? So that's a really dope thing. So what I need you to do is like, share, and comment, and let me know what city and state that you checking in from, whether you tapping in from Facebook or you tapping in from YouTube. Definitely let the family know. So you got an upcoming live, Sister Crystal. You have your community that you building, and you working to get more and more people tapped into that, building services that add value and things like that. So what is your blueprint, or what is your roadmap look like for you in tech? Like, what are some of the things you're looking to accomplish?
Definitely, I'm gonna say before summer, I want to land a sales engineer role with a tech company,
Okay.
preferably.
You got that. You got that. Yeah, you gonna get that.
So that's the main goal. And then, of course, once I get with the company, just growing within that company. Um, I don't really like the job hop, but if I can stay with the company for 5+ years, that'd be great. So, um, yeah, that's all I have for now. that's,
Absolutely.
that's the main
Absolutely.
goal.
So
And
how
also, oh, so sorry.
no, good. No, you good. I was gonna say, so how important do you think it is to build a brand as you grow through your journey in tech, as far as building a brand, a personal brand?
I think that's very important so that people can see who you are, what you're about. So yeah, I think it's very important to do that. And the reason why I'm kind of growing my brand is because I want people to know who I really am and look at the value that I can bring to their company. And not just when it comes to jobs, also just the connections that I make. I want people to be able to connect with me. I don't want to, say if my page grows to 20,000 followers, I don't want to become that influencer that's, acting like she's above everyone. I want to still be able to connect with people and just see who I am and what I bring to the table. So I think brand is very important. Marketing is important. Marketing yourself. I'm big on that. So yeah.
Nah, I had an interview with Cyrus, and Cyrus talked about that, how, as you grow your brand on social media, right? Tech companies will reach out to you for brand partnerships and sponsorship partnerships and things like that, that allow you to make extra income outside of what you make with the company and the role. So it's very important, as people who are looking to try to establish generational wealth, that we establish in multiple streams of income. And one of the ways to do that is by building a brand where you have opportunities and offers that hit the table. The more and more you network, and the more and more you market yourself and things like that. So I think that's extremely, extremely important. I just put a video out this morning, I think it was, on LinkedIn, talking about that very thing. Like, don't just stay entry level. When you come in entry level, obviously that's where we all come in at, or even mid level, but don't stay there. You want to always be looking to grow. You always want to be increasing your knowledge and adding to your toolbox, right? Sharpening and honing in those skills, and then doing more than just what the particular role is. So therefore, you're able to branch out and you're able to do different things, create products. You talked about services earlier. Offer services and things like that, so that you can have multiple streams of income. So in times like this, where there is a little bit of uncertainty in the market and things like that, then you're not looking crazy in the face, because that was a big thing about the tech layoffs and everything like that. And one of the things that I spoke to in reference to the tech layoffs was are you adding value? Right? Because companies look at every position or every role as to how valuable is this role. Is this role expendable or do we need to keep it? So if you're constantly adding value, you bring a revenue to the company, you bring in fresh ideas, then you're less likely to be on the chopping block with somebody who's just sitting around getting paid every 2 weeks or however frequently you getting paid, but not adding no value to the company. So I think that's extremely important. So, what have been some challenges that you have come across in your journey in tech? Because I know the sisters be every time I see the sisters, boy, they living their best life. So I'm just trying to figure out where do y'all got challenges? Y'all running the challenges or is it just us?
Wait, what challenges?
No, I'm asking. That's what I'm saying. Because from my point of view, don't look like y'all just breaking the tech. Y'all making 6, 7 figures, getting the bag. You know what I'm saying? Making amazing content with all the beautiful light coming through. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and the brothers be kind of going through it. So I'm just asking. Has there been any challenges or?
Yeah, I mean, with anything, you're gonna face challenges, but I think it's your mindset and how you are, how you perceive everything. So if you
Right.
think, oh, at the end of this, I'm gonna get a job. If you think like that, then the way that you just go out into the world is gonna be different. But if you're saying the world's against me, man is against me, whatever it is, like you're not really gonna get those results because your mindset is not there. So I don't know what it is about the sisters. I don't know. You know that women we go out and get it. So
Yeah. 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 Y'all don't be playing no games. Don't be playing
right.
no games at all. So I mean, no, all the sisters that are creators and the ones that I done met on the app is like phenomenal. Like they got groups like you, they got communities, they got workshops they putting together, they got brands, they doing this, they doing that. They not playing no, they're not playing no games. So no, that's real talk right there. That's just real talk. So if you had any gems, or any tips or advice you would give anybody, specifically nurses that are in the nursing field, who may be feeling burnt out, who may be feeling like they got a lot on their shoulders. What would be some advice for them?
I would say that you have options. I always say, as long as you have breath in your body, you have options. So you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to stay where you're at. If you want a change, make a change. But if you don't change, then nothing changes. So if you know that you want something different, then you have to do something different. So I say, for one, make a plan. Make a plan and stick to it. I always say you have to do small things to get to where you want to be. So every
Mm.
day doing something to reach those goals. So if you are a nurse in healthcare and you're like, I can't do this no more, because trust me, I've had those days where I'm like, Lord, I didn't have the fact like, I need something else, Lord.
Right, right.
Opportunity presented itself. So also sometimes if the opportunity isn't there, you have to make the opportunity, you know.
That's a bar. That's a bar. So when you bring that up, let me ask you this because I think that's important. And oftentimes people are not prepared for the opportunity or for the situation when it presents itself. So what was like your mindset as you were going through that particular situation where the opportunity presented itself? And then you were able to take action, because I don't think that people don't see success because of lack of opportunities necessarily. I think it's because the lack of preparedness and their ability or willingness to execute once the opportunity presents itself is the problem. So could you talk about that a little bit?
Ooh, okay. So I for me, I go looking for opportunity. I'm not just gonna wait till it comes knocking. I'm gonna see, okay, what's out here? What can I do? Like when I was like, okay, I need something else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I of course make myself not open, but I'm just following different creators, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm connecting with other people.
Right.
Going on Indeed. I don't know. Like I was doing anything I could.
Right. 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 To see what was out there.
Yeah, if it's a webinar, I'm listening to it. And honestly, like after I graduated from the boot camp, like I even got discouraged with that. And I even
Mm.
told one classmates that I'm like, girl, I'm just gonna give up. Like I'm not getting these interviews.
No.
I know. And I saw Emmanuel's I forgot his last name, but I saw his post and he was like, you can't say that you want something and you're not giving it all you got. And I'm like, okay, if I, got this opportunity, then
Mm-hmm.
I need to take advantage of it and stick to it, until the end, until I get the results that I want. So it's all about mindset. If you want to get prepared for the opportunity, already have your mindset that this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to accomplish. I think writing your down is good. I'm not big on vision boards or manifesting, but I'm going to write down my goals and what are steps that I can make or do that can help me, move towards those. So plan it,
Absolutely.
that all has a hand.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm not that big on vision boards or, things like that because I think like people kind of have like commercialized this whole manifestation and vision boards type thing where they kind of do it only at the beginning of the year and, but they're not executing the small steps that you talked about that are necessary in order for you to get to the big goal that you got written on the vision board. But I did all of this by accident, I think. But I came across my some goals that I did write down when I started tech, and I was like, hey, I was gonna start working at a company. This is how much money I want to make, blah 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 blah. And I found out like later on after the fact that I actually accomplished everything that was on the list right there. It's like, oh snap, I actually did get the job at this that between this time frame, the exact amount of money, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow. So it is something to writing down your goals because you're able to visualize it. So once you're able to visualize it, then you're able to put the plan together that's going to help you navigate and get to the goals. I feel like vision boards is like the final destination, right? That's the address. That's where you're going. When you're utilizing the GPS, the vision board has the final destination on it. But the stuff that's in between, all of the directions that's in between that's going to help you get from point A to the final destination is what people miss when they're, putting these vision boards and stuff together. They see where they want to go, but then they forget about all the directions, which highway they need to take. They need to make a couple lefts, a couple rights at this light, whatever the case may be to get to the final destination. So I think that's extremely important, having that plan and then executing on that plan. So how can people stay tapped in with you? Follow you on social media, and what do you have working in the future? I know you gave us, you kind of hinted towards it earlier, but what are some things that you're working together or working on in the future?
Well, I'm not on social media, so don't go looking for me. I deactivate every single social media
What?
page.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's maturity. I don't need to post what I'm doing. I don't need to see what someone else is doing. I'm focused on what I
Right.
got to do. I have kids, so you have to. When you have kids, you got to be focused because you got kids. You got people depending on you.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. That's true.
I looked at it as a distraction, so I was like, I use all that energy on LinkedIn, and I feel like I'll get more from that.
Okay. Okay. So they can find you on LinkedIn.
Crystal Harvey. That's a popular name, so you got to look for the purple circle with me crossing my arms. You'll see it.
Okay.
I'm also a motivational speaker, so I always like
Okay.
motivational content, bulk of my content, and I love doing that. I love encouraging people. That's like a passion of mine. And yeah, I have a lot of things to come. I have a lot of ideas. So just that's all I can say. Just look out. Just stay tuned.
I know that's right. Okay. All right. Well, Sister Crystal, I certainly appreciate you coming through, stopping by the Campaign TV show, man, and just giving us a little bit of insight into your journey and your transition from nursing into tech. And we certainly wish you all of the best and most success. And we definitely want to bring you back sometime in the future.
Yes, hopefully so.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all give my sister a digital round of applause for coming through tonight, talking to us. So yes, ma'am. So yeah, we definitely gonna connect on LinkedIn, and definitely want to bring you back for part 2.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Okay, do I just press hang?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Righty. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, family. So, man, that was amazing because, like I said, oftentimes you don't find a lot of people who transition out of the medical industry, like nursing or nurse practitioner. Certainly not a doctor, right? But anything along that nursing line, LPN, RN, you don't see a lot of people who transition out. They normally trying to do more. So as an LPN, most of them go back to school to become an RN. You know, as an RN, you're looking to try to get into leadership management, things like that. And if you really about that time, then you're going to try to go back to school and become a nurse practitioner, things like that, right? But you don't see a lot of people transitioning out. So when I saw Sis said, you know what, I'm deuces on this and I'm going into a whole nother industry like tech, you know, it was something that I definitely wanted to tap into. Thank you for your time. Yep. Man, I certainly appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight, family. Just to get those nuggets and those jewels. Man, we got a big week this week. I was just putting it on my Instagram. Number one, too, let me let everybody know who's here. I have a lot of fake pages that are out there trying to scam people, right? It's a lot of fake pages out there. So if you have gotten a friend request from me and it's not from my own page, I got one page. If you got a friend request from me and it's talking about Bitcoin and all this kind of stuff, I don't promote Bitcoin. I don't teach Bitcoin. I don't talk about stock and crypto options and none of that stuff. That is a fake page. Please block and report the page because it is a fake page, family. So I'm working on getting verified on Instagram so we can get bypass these fake pages. But that's what's going on. So that's one of the things that you need to watch out for out there, family. But big week this week, man. We're going to be coming back here tomorrow with another show because we're going to be addressing the Tyreek Nichols situation. And then we have another interview next week as well. That's going to be with another entrepreneur in the tech space that's going to be giving us some more game about becoming a solutions engineer, right? A little bit different from sales engineer, but solutions engineer. So they're going to be coming with a lot of good game as far as that's concerned as well. So again, I appreciate Brother Edward for the opportunity to speak with Sister Crystal tonight and to, again, just talk a little bit about her story and things like that and have the opportunity to, you know, learn from her journey and, you know, be able to apply everything to what we got going on. So I appreciate that, family. And again, man, follow us on all social media platforms. If this was valuable to you, family, you can send us a donation via Cash App. The dollar sign campaign TV show is scrolling across the bottom. Dollar sign campaign TV show is scrolling across the bottom if you would like to send a donation in. Also, let me pull this up if I can pull it up real quick. I want to also see if I can pull it up real quick. But yeah, we have Savior's Day coming up, family. We definitely have Savior's Day coming up. So anybody who would like to tap in, I can't pull it up right now. Then you can do that as well through NOI.org. Come and tap in with us. The crowning event for Black History Month is Savior's Day. So you don't want to miss that as well. All right, family. So again, I appreciate all of you all for tapping in. And man, we'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode of the Campaign TV show. Peace and blessings.
Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
You know. Not your average nigga, I'm a god out the hood. They can't downplay me. I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. Then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. I I don't look at you people the same. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still wanna think our history started when we was...